What an absolute pleasure.
That's it.
My God, I am super excited to have you on the very first episode of City Talks.
I'm very excited to be here. It's my first time in LA, so a first time for everything.
How wonderful. And there are no coincidences.
No, there are not.
So your first time in LA and the first episode of City Talks together is not a coincidence.
It's not. It's a great start for both you and me.
Oh my God. Lovely. There's so much that I want to ask you. I'm just literally racing in my head as to where I should start from.
Start with the beginning. Start with your beginning.
So I'm Ujjla Manchanda and hosting you here on City Talks, the second coming of the Joan of Arc. My God. And this is critically acclaimed in the UK, and now you're here as part of the Hollywood Fringe festivals.
Yes.
And I don't think there could be a better personification for the Hollywood Fringe Festival, which celebrates freedom of expression in performing arts. And the second coming of the Joan of Arc is all about expression of women.
Yes.
So tell me more about this.
Well, it is about women empowerment. It's also a battle of cry. It's a call to action. It's a wake-up call and a call to action. It speaks a lot about abuse of power, about misogyny. It's also a queer play in a way. It's just a story that's being told about a woman who actually existed, who was actually burned to death, and who did so much with her brief and spectacular life. She died when she was 19 years old.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
Your daughter is older.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it can be so scary in its own way when we think about this. But a play which has been beautifully written by Caroline Gage and directed by Alicia Escalante, you have actually brought it to life.
Actually, this one is not directed by anyone. It's directed by me. If you want, I've done it myself. I saw that the second coming of Joan of Arc was performed 3 years ago at the Hollywood Fringe as well.
Yes, in 2022.
Yes, and probably that was the other production you were talking about. This one I've done on my own. I'm not a person that likes to do things on her own. I need it as an actor. I need a director. I need guidance. I want to be led. But this stemmed from a personal experience that was so visceral that I was 100% sure that I would be able to deliver the message to the audience, and I don't need anyone else interfering. It's lovely, but it comes from a lot of pain, actually. But it was alchemized into something beautiful.
So tell me about the pain that this stems from.
I have been working for the Romanian state in a cultural foreign diplomacy sector, and I had a very unpleasant experience. In that I was the director of the Romanian Cultural Institute in London, and in London everything was fine, and I've done a good job in the brief 11 months that I was there for. But in Romania, I got caught up in a political made-up scandal that had nothing to do with me in the beginning, but I somehow became a major, I wanted to say player, but it was not a player. I was not a player at all. A major, I don't know, a victim of it. And it ended up with me being revoked from that position.
I'm so sorry.
And it ended up with me, in a way, being cancelled because a series of articles were published about me in a Romanian tabloid, and they spread like wildfire. And I was introduced to a type of audience that was not used to me or did not know anything about my existence, because I've been in my field for the past 11 years, and this happened 2 years ago, so already I had time. I was a well-established actress, but it was niched in a way because theater goers knew me. I also had a TV show at a TV channel which was also niched for a certain type of audience, but people who read tabloids are a different category that had no idea about my existence at all. And I had hundreds of messages in my inbox on socials with people cussing me out, threatening me. It was very brutal and scary, and I had a lot of panic attacks. I felt alone, hunted in a way, very scared.
Yeah.
Very scared, like even very scared, like I was going out of the house or going to work, and like I was always taking an Uber even though I lived nearby, but because people knew at all times because I was working for the public in the public sector, you know where my job is at.
Correct.
And I was
Absolutely.
scared that people would wait for me and like do whatever, like it was a very
Scary feeling.
dark time for me, 2023. But I emerged from that beautifully, and when I found this text, a friend of mine who co-owns a theater company in London invited me to work with them.
Sure.
They're called the Inner Six, and she said I could choose whatever I wanted to hand her, whatever I'm interested in. And I said, I think I want to do a solo play.
Yeah.
I want to go through this alone as a rite of passage. And I started looking for texts online, and this was like the fourth or fifth answer on Google Engine.
Yeah.
And Joan of Arc, like immediately it sparked some interest. I ordered the book on Amazon, and then I went to the National Theatre in London and got my hands on every female solo show they had in the bookshop. But in the plane flying to Bucharest, I read The Second Coming of Joan of Arc, and it was me and my experience.
Wow.
And so I fully stopped there. And immediately I saw how the production would look like, how I will be dressed, what type of music I want for the curtain call, which is actually, it's a tiny bit of thing that you can hear though, but it's a song that I've listened to a lot when I moved to London in this position, and it's a disruptive song that will like completely change the pace from what you just saw on stage. And I started to see things that my hair would look like, and it's like this is it, this is the one. And in the text there are certain phrases that were said to me.
Yeah.
So centuries have passed, but nothing has changed.
It is unfortunate in its own way, but at the same time, I think the work that you're doing is resonating with even the contemporary audiences, because like you so rightly said, things haven't changed, and men haven't changed, and attitudes haven't changed.
Institutions haven't changed, and the rules haven't changed. We might pretend. I even talk about it, like Joan has a section of on this topic in the play. The fact that more of us women are able to work in the men's world today only means, she says, they're getting ready to build a bigger fire.
So well said.
I love men. I believe in communion and
of
in
course.
Collaboration and in working together, but man, is it difficult at times, to coexist.
Yeah. But there's a beautiful quote by Caroline Gage where she says that as a woman, I have no country. As a woman, I want no country. As a woman, the country that I belong to is the whole world. And that just speaks volumes of the solidarity of women and global movements for people coming together. And what you are doing in different countries is just a call, like you said.
Yes.
It's a call.
Yes, people going out of the audience when the play ends, like most of them in Edinburgh, I performed there, and they were like, I felt like it was heartbreaking, but I also like feel empowered and inspired, and that's exactly what I don't know exactly. There's this joke that was circulating at one point, went viral on the internet. Who are we, women? What do we want? We don't know. What do we want? No. So like it's an energy like that, but I would like us. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my beat. Like, we can't close our eyes anymore.
Sure not.
To this,
for sure.
And it's not necessarily for women, because, like I said, I love. It's for men as well. Last performance I had in Edinburgh, to my shock and surprise, there was only one woman in the audience in her early 70s, and then only men. Aged 45 to 70.
Okay.
And at first I went on stage, and if you see the show, you see it's just me, and in the second act a chair appears, but it's just me. It's a black box and me.
Correct.
So
it's bare and stripped back to just a chair.
So when I got in the room, I didn't feel comfortable.
Sure.
I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel like this is a safe space for me to be vulnerable, although I was performing.
Yeah.
And as the story progressed, I watched the faces of the men in the audience, because it's very ha, you did that, you men, like demanding for accountability
Sure.
from them. And I was watching their faces, and their faces transformed, like they were hearing this for the first time, that misogyny exists and abuse exists. As the story progresses, at one point when she eventually gets raped, and their faces were like, no, yeah, nothing will change, nothing will. And to me, it was baffling, like, guys, you're only now realizing this in the world we live in. Like, I'm glad you do. I love you. Please do better.
Yeah.
You can do better. Please do better. We need you. Please do better.
You're doing a service, because it is the outreach to people that will actually make a difference. And I think you're doing more than your bit in the world that we are living in to be able to carry that message across.
I'm very happy that this bad experience happened to me. I was just saying that I'm now in a moment in my life where I don't believe that bad things are happening to me. I believe that rejection is God's protection and redirection, and every minor inconvenience or bigger inconvenience is actually something that will reroute me for my greater good.
Sure.
So I'm very happy that this ugly thing happened to me, because otherwise I wouldn't have been in front of you today. This idea would have never occurred to me, and especially not fueled by such a personal drive.
Sure.
Because when it's personal, it transcends differently. It changes the conversation, and it's doubled by your energy and fueled by something else. When I first performed in London, I was very hurt still. I was crippled on the inside. Also, it was a new audience. It was for the first time for me performing in English. I was like, how will the people perceive me? Will they receive me?
Sure.
Will they hear my message? And things went well. I got great feedback. People started asking me if I'm taking the show to Edinburgh. Then I went there. I got good reviews. And then in Edinburgh, greater ones, like 4-star reviews for something that I've done on my own for the first time as a foreigner, as an immigrant, if you want. Like, it was, it built up my confidence.
Absolutely.
In Edinburgh, it solidified it, and I was very anxious in a positive way to see how will I carry myself here, because now I'm in a different moment in my life, and I feel very supported, and I'm coming from a peaceful and beautiful place. And also the show is also changed by the energy of this country, actually. With the good and the bad. And also every show is actually, and this is one of the reasons why I love theater so much, because it's alive, it's here, it's now, it's between me and you. Every night is different because the audience is different, and I pick up on their energy and emotion. And if they giggle, it's not a funny play, but it has like dark humor and sarcasm in it, and if people respond to it, I play into that. First show, it felt like very intimate and such an intimate conversation. I didn't even feel the need to use a voice, like a stage voice, that much. Of course, I wasn't speaking slowly or softly, but still it was such a I love theater. I love what it gives.
Of course.
And that is,
it's up close and personal.
Yes.
And I think that it impacts the people who are there in the audience so much.
Yes.
But I'd love to hear some of the memorable feedback from the audience or expressions you remember, whether from here or from Edinburgh, in all the times that you've performed. Tell me some of the moments which have been most memorable for you.
At times, people were invited by the producer in London, for example, and we were supposed to have drinks afterwards. And they said, sorry, I can't stay. I need to be with my own thoughts at the moment, because the text is so powerful. And so it stemmed this. Others were like, they wanted to share their stories as well. I'm also using this show, and I'm using this platform as a way for people, for the underdogs, to be seen and to understand that you are not alone and you are not the only one. And I'm creating a safe space for us to express ourselves. And I'm using this hashtag I am Joan. If you want to share your story, your personal story of how you've been mistreated, misunderstood, mishandled in this world, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. I don't believe in race, in color, in gender, in labels. I don't believe in that. I believe we are all one and we're all walking each other home. I strongly believe in communion, and I still have faith in humanity.
Of course, of course, of course. And that is commendable. And you're literally personifying the solidarity and the true liberation that needs to exist for women and for the community as a whole.
Yeah.
This is lovely.
It's lovely, but it also feels like what happens to women in Iran? What happens to women in Palestine?
Yeah.
What happens to women here? What happens?
Yeah.
When you think about it, you think you're doing good work,
Sure.
but you're just a drop in the ocean.
Absolutely.
Nevertheless, you're doing the work.
Nevertheless, absolutely.
I'm doing what I can. I do not want to leave this earth as a passenger.
Yeah.
I want to know I was of service and I've done my part.
That is truly commendable, and it is so wonderful. So Catinca, tell me, you work across film, television and theatre. What is your favorite medium?
My favorite medium is theater because, like I said, it's alive, it's here, it's now, and it's present, and it also belongs to me, the actor.
Absolutely.
You have no control in the movies. You may pour your heart out and then get cut in the edit room, or be just someone in the back.
Yeah.
Lost in translation if you want. But I love theater also because it brings you die and you get reborn every night with every performance. But I love all these platforms actually because they're all platforms that help me better express myself and offer my gift to the world. I think it's really important when you discover what your purpose is to use all the means possible to take it out, to put it out in the world. I've done television, I've done radio in my home country, I've dubbed a lot of animated series. I'm the Romanian voice of Twilight Sparkle in My Little Pony, or I'm also in Paw Patrol, things. I'm Teresa in Barbie. I've done kids love me.
Yeah.
And I love doing this. It helped me as an actor because you're in a booth and you're encouraged to be as silly as possible and as outgoing, woofing or doing all sorts of
weird or cute things.
Yes. But this gives you a certain freedom on stage that I benefited from a lot, and I loved doing that. And I think now it's time for me to take my career to the next phase where I'm headed for a breakout in television or movies, because I've done theater a lot, but it's also a niche. I'm very aware of that, and I need a bigger platform.
Sure, and you deserve it. Absolutely. But there's something that you said, and I would love to ask you a little bit more on that. Where you said that every day or every night when you perform in theater, you bring it out alive once more, and of course you feed off the audiences. But what does it feel like to do the same thing over and over again, day after day, maybe night after night?
I'm going to tell you a little secret. The day of the show for me is, I feel like throwing up. Before going on stage, I feel like running away. Every day I'm why did I put myself in this position? Why? I can't remember a line. I can't remember everything. I would just I feel like, I need to go to the toilet. I need to throw up. I need to pee. I need to everything. It's so scary. My legs are like that. The day of the first performance here, which was on the 6th of June, I woke up 8 a.m. and my legs were I was like a willow tree, and I was like, I'm just quiet. I'm just here. I was in the house, and I'm just gonna be here, reading the text and just and so I don't even know. It's not fright, but it's just, I think, emotions and feelings, and I have plenty of those. I am a water sign. I am a Scorpio. It's overwhelming, and also the overthinking. It's so all of these. The moment I step on stage, I'm a ball of fire, a luminous ball of fire.
Outstanding.
And it stops. Every pain I had, physical or whatever was, it just stops. And I love performing. I love being on stage. I love entertaining. I love moving you.
I get that. That's
This is
one
why.
Scorpio to another.
See? I love it. Because that's the point of the theater. You go to the theater to feel something.
Absolutely.
To cry, to laugh, to feel something, to be moved, to leave different in a different state than you arrived. And I love being a vessel. for that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So tell me, what led you to being an actress? And if I understand correctly, you have been to law school.
I have. I graduated law school before
That's-
theater because, my father is a retired actor. He hasn't performed in 25 years, which is a shame because he was truly outstanding. Not because he's my father, but because he truly was.
Yeah.
So I'm like the boring, if you want, example of a kid who just grew up in the theater. My father used to put a chair in where the lighting box was in the theater, and I saw the same performance, same play actually, multiple
Sure.
times, and it was a dream world. Also, I was a very introverted kid. I didn't go to kindergarten, even if it was the next house or building to where we lived,
Sure.
because my parents wanted more time with me.
Aww.
But at times, because they were working, I ended up being alone, and so I didn't have friends at all. I'm an only child, so it was just me in my universe with my cassettes of music or stories and my dolls. And I knew from when I was very little, I think I was 5 or 6, I had a cassette with like pop songs, and one
Okay.
of them was recorded live. I think it was, I forgot who's performing it, but like it was a ooh la la la, like that hit, that pop hit from back in the day, but it was with a live audience, probably during a festival or something. And when I heard the crowd cheering, like that's a moment that I knew exactly. I had the vivid image of it, that I knew that this is my calling as well, and I am to do something for the people, for an audience. I didn't know at that time exactly what.
Sure.
Would it be singing or acting? But acting, I feel like it helps me showcase and encompass all of it.
Sure.
It doesn't limit me to just song, or like I can sing, I can dance, I can perform, I can do all of it with acting. So
Nice.
when I was 18, I wasn't sure. I didn't have enough faith, confidence in myself. And having a talk with my father, he kind of like, well, of course he wanted the best for me, and he kind of like detoured and tricked me and said like, okay, you have, let's try this. You do law school. You can use your communication skills and abilities there in the law field and have like financial stability and
Yes.
security. And he says something truly smart to me. He said like, if you truly want that, you can be a lawyer and an actress if you truly want that. But an actress and a lawyer, no.
No.
So let you graduate law school, and
Yeah.
we'll see
We'll see,
afterwards.
yeah.
Next day after I graduated law school, I got into drama. So and here I am, and this was the path for me. So I
Yeah.
had a little, it wasn't detour of 4 years, but it built up character.
Sure.
And first years in a drama school, I was looking at my colleagues who were almost 5 years younger than I was, and I was like, how I wish I was whatever was in my head. But
Sure.
I didn't realize that it actually built, I had more life experience
Yeah.
in any way. So the role I
And
made
even
my
understanding.
of life, yes.
Yes.
The role I made my debut with in theater after graduating was a 16-year-old girl
Okay.
who was becoming like a sort of like a robotic prodigy child because her ex-alcoholic mom left her when she was 10. So then the next 6 years she spent being perfect, just thinking that if she is perfect enough, her mom will come back. I wouldn't have had to know how to do that if I would have been in my early 20s.
Sure.
And
Sure.
that was the moment when I was very thankful for my age
Yeah.
and for the books I read, the
Yeah.
movies I saw, the encounters that I had. It's all,
It all came together.
and it helped a lot. And I understood a lot with that part. Like in the first time, like it had a monologue towards the end, and I was always crying and during rehearsal.
Sure.
And the actress that played my mom as well, like it was very emotional. And then I had a click one day, and I realized it's not me who has to cry on the stage. It's you, the audience. So I switched the approach, and I did it very it felt like it had no emotion at all, like because she just like dissociated herself from
Sure.
do that and that and that. You'll come back, but then I realized you won't, and like it is what it is. And always I heard people in the audience sniffing, and like,
yeah.
and when we had the opening nights, an ambulance came and took a lady with it because she had
Wow.
convulsions.
Wow.
That's the power of good storytelling.
How wonderful is that? How wonderful is that?
I mean,
That's a job
I hope
extremely
she's
well
fine
done.
today, and she was, and everyone, like even after that show, everyone felt the urge to call their moms
Yeah.
or their parents and just like to hear their voices,
Yeah.
and that's when you know you did a good job. And
That's
you
a
did your
job
part.
really well done.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. My God, but that's quite a journey mapped, right? From studying in Romania,
Yes.
traveling to the UK, and
Yes.
now to the US.
Yes.
And the
I'm
world is your
glad I'm being
stage.
here for a little while. I was actually using this month. I wanted to see how I feel in this city and if I'm fit in here, and I think I am, but I'm also trying to be discerning between the mirage of a festival energy
Sure.
where everything is
A little heightened.
compacted and a little heightened, and
Yeah.
then when it's like a normal day, it's not that. But I like it in here, and I was very well received here. The show was well received here, and why not London and LA? Why not for me in the future?
How wonderful.
It's already happening now.
Well, we welcome you here absolutely with open arms.
Have me, please.
And if I circle back to the Joan of Arc, then I have one quick question. If you had to describe the second coming of the Joan of Arc in one word, what would that be?
Trailblazing, explosive, cathartic. More words I'm giving you, but like stop me
But
whenever
for
you
each
feel
one,
feel
which
like.
has a common significance with...
Reckoning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come for the reckoning, stay for the healing.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Next performances are on the 18th of June, so that's tomorrow, and then the 22nd, and then the 27th. I'm performing at the Actors Company as part of the Hollywood Fringe. You can find everything online about it. Please come see.
Absolutely. This
Join
is
the
for...
movement.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I cannot thank you enough
I
for
cannot
coming
thank you for
today.
having me.
This has
Thank you,
been
my sweet.
absolutely wonderful.
As for me, thank you.
Thank you.